Now, shout out to RBReyes again. We got another topic. Is hip hop still a voice for the voiceless, or is it too commercialized? I was like, that's an interesting topic.
Is it interesting?
I think so because there's a few underground acts that we have, and I wouldn't
Hmm.
necessarily say voiceless. Those who, what's the best way I could say it? I would say, what is the best way I could say it? Because the best example I give is like, there's artists like a D2X, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
Who I would say is the voiceless, the kid kind of like from Chicago that doesn't fit the
Hmm.
normal stereotype of the drill music, kind of
Hmm.
does the introspective, very lyrical, but very grounded sense, kind of like a Big Crit as well, right? Versus
Hmm.
something that's too commercialized, that's easy. Most trap music nowadays, Drake, any artist that really play the game now when it comes to streaming and stuff like that.
Uh, I've been saying this since we've been doing the show, B.
Hmm.
Hip hop always been commercial and always been
Ever since,
sold.
what'd you say? Ever since Run DMC?
Now, even before, ever since freaking what's the first track? What's the Rapper's Delight? Ever since the first freaking hip hop track
Why
that was
would you say
charted.
that?
Because it was
Oh, because it
always
charted.
money involved. It charted. It was
Oh.
already the big business. It was already the people. It was always commercialized. It always been. We never gatekeep hip hop.
Hmm.
It never got
And you think
gatekept.
that's the problem with why?
Yeah. The when the closest thing you could get from it being for the voiceless was when it was nobody else worried about what those niggas was doing in the projects and in the Bronx or all of in New York at the time. That's probably, but once you get any commercial success, it's over. It's a wrap. Once you let any entity in when it comes to the company, the labels, it's no longer is going to be gatekept. It's no longer going to be a voice for the voiceless. If you want to think about like, okay, yeah, we have artists like you said, D2X. We got the guys that's really about hip hop, like Rome Streets, blah blah blah. But they still want their money.
Hmm.
It's no such thing to me as a artist
An art
that's
that's just purely about the art
yeah,
and nothing
nah,
more.
mm-mm,
Because you got to make some
nah, bro.
sacrifices here and there. Because you still got to market
You,
it. You
you
still got to brand it.
you gotta compromise when it comes to this stuff. And I feel like with hip hop or any other like hip hop, black people in general, we uh we put ourselves up into this high standard, bro, that it kind of hurts us. It set us up for failure. Like we can never achieve these unachievable things. Hip hop will never be able to be gatekept. It's too late. It's been too late. Nigga, you gonna have to go back and destroy and rebuild it. You gonna have to go back to 72 or whenever it started.
But how would
Be
you
like,
destroy
yo,
and rebuild something like hip hop?
no, you can't. I'm saying it's something we can't do. That's why I
But that's
used
the
it.
only way that could. Okay,
That's the
so
only
you're
way.
saying
They don't say
it can't
it'll
happen.
never, it'll never happen. It's too late. And it's just gonna get worse from here. We talked about the streaming era, all these different eras. Now we going into the AI era. We got AI making videos of people that don't even exist, using faces. Like you can just, you know, type in
Then we got the
type in
AI
something.
rapper a year or two ago.
And we got some out here now. We got them out here now. So I understand the conversation, but I think the voiceless, I think it's once
I
hip
think the
hop.
quick I think for me, like a resurgence of that kind of happened with the kids during the SoundCloud era, a bit to a degree where it's like you could be quirky, you could be weird, and you didn't have to. Because the quick, I mean, the only way, the closest, that's the word I was looking for, Jesus. The closest I
Mm,
can say to that is something like that where you had the quirky, weird kids that was very eccentric and a lot of, basically the mumble rap era. That's the last era I say would kind of have something like that. Like a Yachty. A Yachty is a big example of that where I
I don't
wouldn't
get
say
it.
voiceless, but more so ostracized, outcasted kids. The people that didn't
Well,
fit
like
the
the De La
normal.
Souls, the De
Hmm.
La Souls, the Jungle
That's what I'm
Brothers.
saying. The latest that we had of that was during that era.
Mm-mm,
Why don't you
nah,
think so?
I don't. I just because I don't see the correlation of voiceless from them.
That's what I'm saying. It's not voiceless, but more so like those that felt outcasted or ostracized, different, weird.
Mm-mm.
Because who was representing stuff like Yachty kind of was during that time during mumble rap.
If so, you're saying I think hip hop embraces everyone. If you want to say embracing, but you adding like being commercialized, being in there, that's what got me. That's what got my thought process off. Because if you're thinking about
Hmm.
people that hip hop embraces everything, it's room for everything. But when we
Hmm.
bring commercialized, we all want to make money. We all here. You want to make some money off your art. So even with Lil Yachty and them, they want to be big and make money off their stuff. I remember he banned they bro. You know how many Lil Yachty mixes I had back in 2015? Man, he took them down over like man. Lil Yachty. But on SoundCloud. But but what I'm saying is I'm speaking in the aspect I'm speaking in the aspect of like someone that's speaking for the people that's not being heard. Some people that's because like you can't really mention like talk about like Palestine and all this type of stuff like speaking for the voiceless people. Hip hop being that
So kind of
uh,
like Belly did last
yeah,
year.
yeah. When you say stuff like, yeah, like Belly speaking for his people, stuff like that, right? But when you know how like when Lupe was doing that back in the day, like his career kind of went down. A lot of people they not used to like doing stuff like that. I'm saying they don't want to compromise their future with speaking on things like that. Like Lil
Hmm.
Yachty wasn't doing that. They were just on there talking about how many niggas getting it straight off the boat. Like one night, highlight. They wasn't doing nothing for the voiceless. They weren't speaking for the voiceless. You know what I'm saying?
I would think that it was like for the kids at that time. The kids that felt weird, felt ostracized, the kids that felt like they didn't relate to the rappers. Because the closest I can say that is like a Drake, for an example.
B,
Kanye doing
B,
808s.
B. Bro, look, I'm gonna tell you this. Like, we know who the main majority of hip hop listeners are and the consumers are. They're white. None of the
Mhm.
people they listen to speaks for them. Uh, Music can be escapism as well. Some people don't want to listen for the voiceless. Some people want to escape from what they're dealing with and want to. It's like video games. Sometimes you just want to escape reality, go into a different world. That's why a lot
Mhm.
of people that consume hip hop that don't even look like us, they don't have to. They experience our world from movies, from music. They don't actually have to be there.
Live
So
in it.
yeah, yeah. So nah, hip hop ain't for that, bro. And Lil Yachty to me, what I understand what you're saying, but what I think RB is trying to say, I don't think it's Lil Yachty to me. I could be wrong. I don't think
Mhm.
it's that. But
That's how I read it because, like I said, to me, it's one of those things where it's like you kind of represent a space in hip hop that not many rappers obviously are included in that space.
yeah,
That's the best way I can say it.
but
Like a
yeah,
very niche audience, basically, kind of.
gotta understand this too. Yes, hip hop still could be homophobic. It can still be have misogynistic, practices and things like that. But we gotta understand it's also even though hip hop is like one of the most embracive cultures, even in genres as well. And think about how it is now, where we have openly, people part of LGBT in hip hop, and that a lot of straight hip hop artists embrace themselves in different ways now. You got rappers that wear dresses, paint their nails, they do all type
Queer
of stuff.
baiting,
Yeah, yeah,
as
yeah.
that boy I used to pay say.
Yeah, I'm just saying they do a lot of stuff like that now. I feel like the voices is here. I feel like it's like when we was growing up, being a nerd wasn't cool. But now
Yeah,
being a nerd is cool. Everybody's a
yeah.
nerd. It's niggas now saying that they was a nerd back then. I'm like, bro, you wasn't a nerd. Nigga, you wasn't. I knew you. You didn't
Hmm.
want to be a nerd. You know what I'm saying? So
Hmm.
being a nerd is cool now. Like, so it is what it is. You always been who you was, B. I know like most of my life. You
Hmm.
always been who you was. Some
Hmm.
people out here faking it. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
So it's like what I'm saying is like hip hop now, I feel like if you want to put it in that aspect, I feel like it's still for the voices, but it's commercialized as well. You know what I mean? It's
So do you
like
think
it's
that it can ever be, besides the kids that are underground that are trying to make it, do you ever feel
mhm.
like it can be anybody for the voiceless?
Hip hop. Nah, I think it's
Do
too
we
gone
do
now.
how about this then? Better way to phrase it. Do people care about the underdog struggle or story anymore?
I don't think so, B. I don't think we
Do you think we're
do.
too far past that?
Yeah, I'm gonna give him one example. This is my analogy.
Mhm.
You're not into sports. You don't watch the NBA, right? If you look at a lot of the up and coming NBA players, bro, they come from two parent backgrounds. They went to like
They
they
ain't had to
followed
get it
the
out the mud,
they
B.
followed the AAU circuit. They all like suburban kids went to private schools. Like it's you don't have that rough and gruff like that storyline. Like with
Mhm.
hip hop. we getting all those gritty storylines from the OGs that was locked up and now they rapping like the Benny the Butchers, the West Side Guns, the Conways, the 38
Mhm.
Specials. They did time. They still have the storyline. But with the up and coming kids, it's pretty much like that fever dream that white kid had on Reddit when he said, "Man, what if in the next 20, 15 years that hip hop is also it's the average rapper is a suburban white kid." You know what I'm saying? Like it's
Yeah.
like um I don't think that it can happen, B. I think we're in a point now where a lot of people is being accepted. Most people are coming from, they're coming from good backgrounds, which is good. It's like with the NBA, bro. Like people like, dang, man, what a single mother's at. Say what I need that single mother athlete. That's how the NBA want it, though. They want this story. Like, yeah, his dad was locked up, but his mom brought him the promise. But now you see mom and dad at the NBA draft. You're like, damn it.
Looking healthy and old.
Yeah,
They
yeah, we
about to
need
live to
that.
100.
Yeah. So like the hip hop now, it's for the voiceless, I guess, but it's commercialized, B. When I was talking about like just being authentic, being you, and also having like you can don't have to compromise your artistic integrity. That's why I was thinking about the voiceless, but I feel like you can't do that because it's gonna be some compromise in there. Like Lil Baby said, "Hey yo, what does Lil Baby said on that boy? Whole career went down. What did he say about
Oh, the
not Lil Baby,
baby.
the baby? What did he say? Shout out to the
He
gay
said
folk
something about, oh
or something like
yeah.
that. What did he say? He said
No,
something
no,
about
he
that.
said something crazy. He said, dang, it was something. What did he say? He said something about sucking meat in the car or
Yeah,
something
yeah, yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah. Like, I hope that, yeah. Well,
The
you,
baby homophobic line.
hey, bro, bro.
Dang, I'm
Even though
crying.
I know this, though, like what I'm saying, it don't. uh it's kind of contradicting like what I'm saying about like being embracing. But I'm saying I know I already said we still have a little homophobic, we still got a little misogynistic. But I
Mhm.
feel like that it's at the point where it's like people want their money, B.
Facts.
Some people
Hey,
not willing
but
to
the
do it. How
baby,
much they
the baby
think?
done
How
retracted them statements since then.
facts? How much they think Kendrick is so bro? Kendrick, a lot of his politics is so flawed. Some of his ideologies are so flawed, but people think that he's just he's speaking to the people. Like, nah, bro,
But
this
B,
boy
he's a savior of
is,
hip hop. That's what they say.
yeah. I'm like, man, y'all just don't understand, man. He has to compromise as well, bro. I'm surprised
Which I
Kendrick got
don't
off
fault
saying
him for.
he was a Hebrew Israelite in Damn album. Boy, I started laughing when I saw that. I remember when that album came out, I was like, boy, said, don't call me black no more. I'm an Israelite. I was like, no, please don't fall down
He
that.
said he's transracial, B. He said he's transracial. Just like Nowsy.
Oh my God. But nah, man, I think hip hop is too commercialized for the voiceless to speak, especially at the level that, most hip hop artists want to be at. How much they want to disagree with it. Come on, bro. We got examples like Ab Soul, that's someone that's the rapper's favorite rapper that wants to have some mainstream success, wants to have awards. Like how
Hmm.
much you can say, "Oh, I don't want that. I don't want that." Nah, you do.
Yeah.
You do.
Nice little addition to that resume.
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. Y'all let us know if hip hop is still a voice for the voiceless for some, or is it too
Hmm.
commercialized? Let us know in the comment section down below.
Man, shout out to Beyond Beats and Culture.